Hi, here's my presentation on what makes a good product. So the two products I will be comparing today is the Nintendo Switch, which was released in 2016 by Nintendo and was one of the first and most popular hybrid consoles. And I will be comparing that with the drone that was released by GoPro called the GoPro Karma. That was also released around 2016. So as we look at the Nintendo Switch's development, what I thought was really interesting is that in 2012 they released a product called the Wii U. And the Wii U was also a gaming console, but it had a small tablet that integrated with the TV. So we could have individuals playing on the tablet as well as on the TV, and they would be playing a game together. And so what I also thought was interesting is that the Wii U didn't perform nearly as well as the Switch or the prior iteration of the Wii U, which was just the Wii. And so Nintendo, had this idea in the Wii U, and it wasn't necessarily the best performing, but they still compounded most likely on what they learned there, and they were able to create the Switch and really create a product that was new, innovative, and loved by many. The other thing is that they made an existing idea much better. In my research, I saw that there was a number of hybrid consoles, but none of them had taken off like the Switch. Nintendo just has a way of connecting with people, and they have a lot of intellectual property and game ideas that are unique to Nintendo, and so they're able to execute on that and create products that people really enjoyed. And now when we look at GoPro, GoPro has always been known for cameras that are associated with adventures. And in my research, drones started to become popular in 2010, and GoPro didn't release this until 2016. And again, according to my research, they entered a competitive space with companies like DJI, and from what I can tell, DJI was a industry leader in the drone space, and so when GoPro released this, they were basically just betting on the fact that their name, their brand recognition would carry them. And they tried a new product that was the latest trend. They didn't have as much experience with that, and it did not work out for them because eventually they had to recall the drones, and then eventually the product was discontinued in 2018. And so as we compare these two, it just shows a clear difference on Nintendo is kind of building on things that they had already leveraged, what they were already good at. They entered a non-competitive market, and they focused on what they've always been good at. GoPro took a risk in the opposite way. They tried to enter a market that the drone market, which they weren't in. They were hoping that their brand recognition would get them past probably some of the hiccups that they knew they would have. Unfortunately, they had too many hiccups with the technology. And I think in this reading from this week, we just learned that even though GoPro didn't necessarily have the success they wanted in the drone market, they were able to learn from it, and they probably saw, we need to focus more heavily on our cameras. And they've continued to release new versions of their most popular products and continue to be leaders in their industry there. So again, not all innovation is bad. Even when sometimes it fails, it can help us redirect it to what we do best in our industry. And here are some of the citations I use for this presentation. Thanks.